Хөрхөн охид trap сонсон. Trap сонсон, trap донсон. Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан. Дагаж дуулан дур булаа мууруулаа.
Hey there, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. It's going to be a great show today. We got the Greg Wilson back.
Hey, buddy.
As well as Tyler Smith.
Yo, yo, yo.
Vince Pichel's running a little late. It's going to be a great show. I want to thank Santa Cruz Medicinals. Listen, they have potent CBD-infused coconut oil, olive oil, MCT oil, vape pens, and more. They're gluten-free, they're vegan, they're paleo, and sugar-free. Okay, it's lab-tested, made out of Santa Cruz, California, which is an amazing place. Go to scmedicinals.com. scmedicinals.com. Mention Roasted. I'm telling you, these guys, I take CBD all the time, and I love it. It's probably the only thing that actually relaxes me. I like it so much. I love it, for real. And then you can put this stuff in your coffee, you put it there, and I'm actually like, wow, this is what relaxing actually feels like, especially since my head is always going 5,000 miles an hour. And
that's true. That's true.
So I
think all comedians are in their heads a lot.
I imagine THC would kind of exacerbate that more than calm it.
It can bring in a lot of paranoia that you don't get with the CBD.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
That's for sure.
They also have a CBD-infused clay mask, okay? So you guys want your skin looking good? Go to Santa. Oh, you can follow them on Instagram at Santa Cruz Medicinals, at Santa Cruz Medicinals, and check them out. Also, Speed Weed. Marijuana is legal in California, and there's no reason you have to leave your house to get it. They will deliver it to you. Go to speedweed.com. They have everything from marijuana to CBD to edibles to THC sex lube to weed cookies to weed, just you name it, breath strips. I mean, they got it, okay?
Candy.
Follow them. Candy. Follow
really
them
good candy.
at Speedweed. At Speedweed. This guy Gino runs it. Great guy. One of the huge supporter of MMA and comedy, and I can't say enough nice things about him. Mention Roasted, you get $10 off. Orders $100 or more, and that happens also with scmedicinals.com. So I've had the craziest weekend, and Greg, I wanted you to come because I wanted you to hear these stories.
Okay, yeah.
So I finally shot my pilot, and I shot half of it.
Yeah.
So basically, I've been coaching wrestling for 13 years, and I'm always like, hey, I'm always telling people stories. Hey, look what happened at practice. Everyone's like, that's a movie.
Right.
So finally,
That's right. You're pilot. That's right.
I sat my ass down and I wrote the movie. Right.
Right.
And when you write a movie, I had to write 15 different versions.
Yeah.
I'm not a screenwriter. I didn't go to screenwriting school. I just had to write all these different versions of it. And then when I finally got it to where I wanted it to be, I'm like, all right, how do I make this? So I did an Indiegogo campaign, hoping that someone would give me, $500,000. That's what I put, $500,000. I asked everyone I knew, just campaign, made a video, taped the kids I coach, raised about $10,000. Right?
That's the way it
still
goes.
Good for Indiegogo campaign.
Fuck it.
But now, every time I go on Periscope or Instagram Live, everyone's like, "Where the fuck's my movie?"
Right, yeah.
You stole my money. You went to the Bahamas.
Oh, shit.
Well, one guy said that,
Yeah.
but everyone's like, "Where's my movie?"
And they're just, busting your
But there's
balls.
still in the back of my, I don't want to take something from someone and say I'm going to do it. So, but I'm like, I can't make a movie for $10,000. I mean, maybe some people can, but this kind of movie with kids and all these people and all these moving parts. So I took a little bit of that money and gave it to my friend who's also a really good writer, written to all kinds of TV projects, and we crafted it into a pilot. So we got a 30-minute pilot, and I got my buddy who owns all kinds of equipment who's like, I can direct this. Great. So I cast it, and I took out all the parts that were going to cost a lot of money. All the big drama action scene at the end, can't do that.
Right.
Anything with more than 10 people, I can't do that. And then I just called in favors. Hey man, you be in this. All these great actors were in it, and I actually had auditions for it because some people I would just give parts to that you're like, oh wow, this person can't really do the part that you don't want to be on set and then find out the person can't do it. So the director was like, have everyone read. So cut to finally, now we shot in my house because you want to find and in my backyard because I have a wrestling room in my backyard.
Right, yeah.
So my friend Joey's like, I'm thinking it's gonna be a 5-6 person shoot, you know?
Yeah.
So I tell my wife the night before, hey, I tell her a week before, we're gonna have some people over to shoot. She's fucking like flipping out. You have to clean the house.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. You can't just tell them that because no, you're invited. Now it's got to look, representative. I do that to Summer all the time. I'm like, hey, so and so's coming over. Next thing I know, she's cleaning her ass off. Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, I can't have them walking into this house and then looking like that.
Right. So the night before, and then also one of the scenes has penis cookies, like dick cookies. So I had to order. So me and my wife are making penis cookies, the night before, right?
Fantastic.
We made like 30, 40 of them, right?
Spark a second baby.
So, what happened was, I almost got divorced actually, because what happened was, I didn't realize that 35 people would show up on set. We had like a huge crew. Like, there was about 30 people here. And my wife's like, what the fuck are all these people doing? I thought it was and when the guy location scouted, I was doing all these things where I had to learn all my lines, cast it, produce it, figure out who's going to be there, who's going to be where. And I overlooked some shit. I got to admit, so the guy was like, oh, we'll shoot in the bedroom. I'm like, all right. So one of the scenes is me and this girl who, she was really good. Now, she happens to be a playmate, but she was actually really good in her audition. She knocked it. And the part was for a webcam model, right?
Right.
And then
of course it was.
And in like the opening scene, she breaks up with me, right? So like I turn over and I'm like, hey babe, I don't want to ruin the pilot, but I'm like, hey babe, and then she's like, I want to see other people. This is not working out. Like that's the
right.
So I'm like, all right. Now she's like, what should I wear? I thought my dog just fucking.
Miles.
Now I thought she'd be fine wearing like lingerie or like a t-shirt to wake up in, and next thing I know, she's in like a bra. And panties, right, in the room, and we're talking before. I got Jay Davis over, this and that, and my wife's like, "You guys want to get? I'm gonna go get some coffee." She's already horrified that there's 40 people here.
Right, sure.
It's 8 a.m. on a Saturday. She works during the week, and she's she's got the baby. So every time she walks in, she hears the playmate. I was in the cover of Playboy 6 times, and I'm just like, oh, like this is getting fucking worse, right? And then,
well, it doesn't help that you're walking around with a boner.
Well, no, then we're no.
Can you imagine just strolling around with a fucking rager?
Ooh, hello.
Everybody in the room has a fucking rager.
Then we're in the room.
You can do that anymore.
Then we're in the room, and then we hear like she says, "Oh, if I would have known this, I would have wore a nicer set of panties." And I'm just like, oh. So my wife's hearing all this shit. She comes back with coffee. She's coming back with coffee, and then someone says, "Quiet on the set." Like in our house is now a set. So my wife is fucking livid. Now, Greg, we come from like an acting background, with acting class, where you could like. Just scenes where you're in bed with a girl, or you kiss a girl, or you.
Right.
But my wife's not like that, and I took it for granted that she'd just be okay with this, and I look over, there's like smoke coming out of her ears,
Why is it? First of all, why didn't you send her to her mom's house for the 2 days while you're shooting?
In like Fresno.
She has the baby. Yes.
Well, her boss did buy her a hotel room. Got her a hotel room for the weekend. But I actually thought that she wouldn't give a I honestly didn't mean to hurt her. Like, I did not, that was not my intent. My intent was just to fucking shoot the scene. That's all I wanted to do. Of course. And I wanted to shoot it good. But it turned into this fucking, this huge ordeal.
Oh, yeah, man. All she sees is some fucking playmate in your bed in her brown panties.
And I should have asked, hey, is it okay if we shoot in the room? That's what I should have said.
Yes, you should have cleared all of that.
Because she would have said no.
Including the content.
Yes.
You should have been like, babe, here's what we're going to be doing. And we need to shoot in the room because that's the only thing we can afford to do. And I hired this playmate and we're going to be doing some kissing scenes. So
no, it was no kissing scenes. It was literally, I roll over, good morning.
Right.
And then her leave. That's why I thought it was okay.
And you should say that too. Tell her.
I did. But it was just like, oh God. So then she leaves and she's like, and so now, I mean, luckily in like the scene, I'm like already stressed out and I just got dumped. So I used it because what was going on in the world with my life. But I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't know this was going to happen. I mean, I knew this was going to happen, but I did not mean to hurt you. Like, I literally was just trying to put 6 years of my life into something and produce a pilot. It was not about you. And she's like, well, this is not about you anymore. This is about the family. And we have a baby in the house. And I don't know these people. And like, she had some very good points.
Those are all valid points.
At the same time, I was like, this took me so fucking long, like, and I wanted to celebrate with her.
Yeah.
And then I was alone Saturday night. But we did the wrestling scenes. They were fucking hilarious. Like the kids knocked it out of the park.
Awesome.
And now the kid, like in like the show, we called like this Asian kid like Kim Jong whatever, and we called because they're all making fun of each other.
Right.
And then now they're in practice on Monday. They were calling each other those names.
Dude, I looked at Derek's Instagram. It says AKA Captain Curry.
Yeah, the Indian kid.
Nice.
We called him Captain Curry. It was, I mean, it. And then the next day we shot, 12-hour, not even like more, like 13-hour days.
Sure.
We shot at the Ha Ha Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Tyler came in. He was in the crowd.
Yeah.
It was some
Have to be an
really
extra.
I was super happy with how everything went. And I was like, actually, I think it was the funniest shit that I've ever like done. You
Dude,
know,
that's
like,
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one scene that I watched you guys shoot was really good.
Yeah.
It was well put together. The guy you got was hilarious. So I'm looking forward to watching it, man.
Yeah, no, but then my dad came. My dad was on set, and he starts giving me advice about. He's telling me about, you should, but like the wife, as far as like, well, you should have done it. And I'm like, Dad, you've been married 3 times. I don't want to hear your life. So now we're in fucking, and then he's mad at me for that.
Yeah.
Like it's just hard because literally I had to juggle, people were forgetting some people were forgetting their lines, so I had to like know their lines and tell them their lines during their scene and my lines. And Joey did a good job directing, but I had like my house was getting trashed, so I had to worry about that. On top of like we were shot like 20 scenes in 4 locations in 4 days and like 8 locations. So I have to know where everyone's going and be on top of everything. It was a fucking lot of juggling.
It's hard, man. Yeah, it's
Holy
fucking
fuck.
hard.
Yeah.
Making an independent project is fucking hard. That's why
Yeah.
a lot of people don't do it.
No, totally. And then my wife goes on Instagram and starts reporting, going, we have a baby. Adam's shooting a pilot. What is he doing? And I'm like, what are you on Instagram? She's like, well, you talk about on your podcast. I'm like, that's my fucking art. You're just on Instagram bitching about me to your friends. I go, this is. She's like, well, and I'm like, what if I have to do a sex scene? She's like, well, don't bring it in the house. Okay, fine. And by the way, if you have to do a sex scene in a movie, I'm gonna be the fucking sex double. If you're not, she goes, we don't even have enough sex, and now you're gonna have sex with other people. And I'm like, all right,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
then-
through a sock.
And then it was one of those things like she's like, you better get me flowers tomorrow, and they better not be flowers via the telephone. Like someone. I go, I've never done that. I go, that was your ex-boyfriend, huh? Or she's like, oh yeah, I think it was. And then so then like, I don't know. Anyway, so fucking Mayhem Miller calls me from jail at like 11 o'clock at night. And
Wow, wait a minute. Wow, this is really out of left
Your
field
life-
now.
your life is just fucking
it'll come
insane.
out. So Mayhem calls me, and I'm like alone, and I had the best fucking shoot of my life. I'm so happy with this, and I got no one to celebrate. It was sad. I was really sad because I wanted to celebrate my wife. I'm not gonna lie, and she's with the baby, and I could have drove over to them too, but I was fucking exhausted. And so Mayhem calls me, and he's in jail. And I tell him, and he's telling me about some shit, and I tell him what happened. He's laughing. He's like, I could have told you that was a bad idea. I'm like, well,
Man, when Van Miller thinks it's a bad idea, wow, that says everything.
when the guy in jail
God,
told me
what
that was
an
a bad
idiot.
Guy
decision.
in jail is like, wow, I've done some stupid shit, but that one takes the cake. You should be in jail.
Dude, yeah. And then,
Guy in jail thinks you're an idiot.
Guy in jail for like some crazy shit.
Some crazy
too.
shit. Doing cuckoo shit thinks you're the idiot. Wow, that really says it all. That's a great button, man. Way to
but then she brings up, right? So then also she goes, you're inconsiderate. This is also the time you went to a strip club when I was pregnant, right? This shit is out of context. What happened was I did a comedy show in Vegas. Dan Henderson shows up, my favorite fighter ever, one of them at least, with his wife, because we're having an after party at a strip club. You want to come with us in the limo?
Absolutely, I do.
Of course. And it's the second show he's been to. So I was like, yeah, I'll come. So yeah, I was at a strip club, but I wasn't planning like, let's go to a strip club. It was like, Dan's like, want to hang out afterwards. And then she's like, well, you got a massage. Well, there were people getting lap dances. And I was like, look, my wife's fucking pregnant. She's about to give birth. I'm fucking stressed right now. So the lady that comes over, the back rub
Massage
lady.
lady, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll take a back rub. That's all what happened. It turned into I got a massage at a strip club while she was pregnant. Like, so that's the fucking story. Like there's
Don't
a
get it
lot
twisted, man.
There's a lot of context here. Like,
sounds to me like you tell your wife too much.
I know,
me like
and I
you're
shouldn't have
the
told her
worst
while
husband
she was.
ever.
Just exactly. You know what I mean? It's not lying. It's just not telling her shit that's going to alarm her for no reason.
No, what happens is what happens sometimes I hear shit and I just say things out loud that come to my head.
Yeah.
Like we were on the way to her giving birth, right? And Howard Stern was on, and they were talking about a strip club. And I was like, oh man, I remember. I'm like, I didn't even go to a strip club last time I was at a strip club. She's like, when was that? I go, oh, it was in Vegas. And she's like, weren't you there last week? And then I was like, fuck. So that's kind of what happened, you know? Like
Yeah, but it was last year.
I no, but she's like, wasn't that last week when you were in a strip? Yeah, I just was like, I can't lie, and that's the thing, I don't lie.
I'm bad at lying too.
I don't
I'm really
lie
bad.
either,
But I mean, exactly. But you just shouldn't have meant. You should just not said that.
No, I know, and then she started crying. It was just fucking terrible. That was bad. And like,
So did you?
on the way, yeah.
Did you get her the flowers?
I'm gonna get after this. I'm gonna get her that. So yeah, that was.
Don't go to Ralph's.
And then she's like, and she says to me, "I'm never making penis cookies for you again." And she made the penis cookies the night before, and she's making me take the marijuana out of the house. Like it was just, I have a whole new bunch of rules. But it was okay. Last night we hooked up, and then we're in bed. Finally, I got her. We're in bed, and everything's good. And I go, "Morning, babe." Like the line from the, and she's like, "Fuck you!" And it started all over again.
Oh my god, you're just an idiot.
Hey,
He's a glutton.
that is exactly what I would do. That is exactly what I would do. Like,
You're like,
oh
what-
hey, remember this thing we just got over 2 seconds
exactly.
ago?
I'm
Well,
gonna
I'm
bring
fucking
it
over
right
it.
back up.
I'm fucking over it.
We're
So
over
let's
it
go
right
again.
Yeah, it was.
You're like one of those fighters that just likes getting hit.
No, I don't like getting hit. It was poor judgment on me on a lot of different ways.
Cue to Tyler's face.
Exactly. Like this one over here.
But yeah, I don't know where the hell Vince is. But it was.
I just texted him.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
is Vince
I
coming?
said, hurry the fuck up, late boy.
Yeah, no, it was poor. Look, no, it was poor judgment. But looking back, I should have just asked, you mind if we shoot in there the scene with me and the girl? She would have said no. We could have done it on the couch. All this shit would have been. Most of it would have been avoided. Yeah. But she's like, you could have wrote it differently. You could have cast it differently. You could have found a more wholesome girl. You could have, I don't care if you're dirty on stage. I'm like, dude, that's all. No, like there's a line. There's a line. Like you can't. What I do on stage, what I do in my work, I like clean jokes, but I like dirty jokes. So do you. I like funny jokes. Yeah. And
yeah, man, funny's funny.
And she's like, you can't go back to your old life. And I was like, babe, my old life consisted of me having threesomes with porn stars. This is a fucking far cry from that. Like, I'm making this TV show so we can sell, so we could I could be in town. I could make a fucking ton of money. I could cast my friends. This is all part of me venturing off the road doing comedy. Like my old life would have been like, hey, I'm leaving for fucking Palookaville for $800 for 19
every day, all day. Yeah, you were gone every
for
single
19
week.
days.
Yeah.
Like I don't fuck around. I'm not fucking around anymore. That's what I'm like. This is not my old life. Yeah, there are certain things here and there, but it's not my old life.
Yeah.
So, but it's okay.
Occasional strip club with Dan Anderson.
I went with Hendo. It wasn't like I want to go to a strip club.
You did get a hand job.
I did not get a hand job. I got it from Hendo.
See, but there are very, very.
He's got that old man trick. There was one pump, and
I was gonna say that fucking wrestler grip.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I was honored.
Yeah, he stretched it like Stretch Armstrong. What? He ended up getting 3 extra inches though.
Yeah.
On the upside,
Corn syrup
it's now a
injection.
3 inch longer dick. So
Yeah, I'll take it.
a little thinner, but longer.
I was gonna say there's not too many situations that I would not go to the strip club with Dan Henderson. Like there would be, it's very few and far between that would keep me.
It was
from
his
that.
after party.
Birth of my
And
child.
you get to go in the limo.
Yeah, but
Look at you, birth of my child. That might be one.
Yeah,
but she was like, well, that's disgusting
Funerals.
about your old life. You were trying to fill a void. Absolutely. My old life was empty. Like those fucking.
Yeah, that's the. And now I have
fun.
you.
That was all fun, but it was quick highs. I'm in a relationship with a woman that I love. It's a huge high. It's an overall high. It's not a fucking
body high.
It's not a quick. It's not a quick like boom down, boom down.
Yeah.
It's a consistent up. But Yeah, I could have done things differently, but when you're in a producer hat and you're also acting in it and you're casting in it and you wrote it, I had 55,000 fucking things going on.
You needed support more than anything.
And
else.
I thought she would just laugh about it, or I thought she might roll her eyes and be like, "You're an idiot." And the girl was hot, so I was like, "Oh, look, it's based on my real life. You're hot, she's hot," and like things that I thought, but I didn't realize to the extent of how annoyed she would get, which was really fucking annoyed. But it happens. We're strong. We're a better couple because of it. I hope so, at least. Anyway,
you will be.
Yeah.
When she's over it, you will be.
But now she doesn't want to watch it. She's like, I can't support this project, and I don't want to parts of it. She wants me to edit out that scene, and I'm like, no. I'm not editing.
It's so weird. I mean, it's just you in bed with her in the morning, like it's a piece of fiction.
Yeah, I know.
But, hey, listen, chicks are weird, so
I had to throw out the sheets, all kinds of stuff that like.
You had to throw out the sheets.
Yeah.
Like for real, you had to throw out the sheets.
Yeah.
So now you can add that to your bit.
Yeah,
Just made you do it twice.
No, I'm going to.
Yeah, exactly. I keep having to get new bedding.
Yeah, no, I'm going to like actually. There's so much that
If IKEA is listening,
of this that I can actually
Adam
use
needs a
in
bedding
my comedy
sponsor.
routine.
Yeah.
Like I have to just. It's just so fucking all disjointed that I
Yeah.
have to
You can't
sit
even
down.
grasp it.
But on the
and craft
upside,
it.
so how many days were you shooting?
Two. Halfway done.
Okay.
We have 2 more days of shooting. We're in like the school. I may have to cut one scene, which sucks, a bar, because we're already over budget. I did all my lines. I was nervous about me sucking. Like I didn't suck. I think that I was actually.
We'll wait to see.
We'll see. I mean, I was happy with it. And
why
I got
there's
to
editing.
I got to give Eve Edwards a big part in it.
Yeah.
I got my friend Rob Belushi.
Old man Eve.
Old man Eve. Yeah, we had to age him. Rob Belushi, who was like my high school. He's Jim Belushi's son. He was in my high school wrestling team in real life, and now he's a huge like improv actor, been in a bunch of movies. He was the bad guy. I put Jay in it. Davis, a good friend of mine. I was gonna put you in it. You had a great part. No, it did. It was fucking great. Trust me. It kind of stole the whole thing. But Bill Dawes did a great job as your part.
Oh, okay.
He came in with like a neck brace, and like I let everyone kind of explore. Like Jay Davis wore a dress for a scene. He was a transgender. It was really funny.
That's funny.
The whole thing was.
Looked. Oh my god! Did you see the picture on his Instagram?
I haven't seen
It was
yet.
it was scary.
It was. And
It was like Hamburger Mary's on Sunday night.
I wouldn't know. I don't know how you do.
You never done Hamburger Mary's on Sunday night for bingo? Oh, they do charity bingo. It's hosted by a drag queen. She's fucking awesome. Roxy Wood.
I've heard about it. I haven't gone,
It's
but it
so
does sound
fun.
Awesome. If I'm
It's
being
so
honest,
fucking
messing
fun,
with you.
and the prizes are
It does
sweet.
and it's legendary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I won. I did it. I won. I got bingo. The bingo.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I won like 3 bottles of wine. Some
I'm
like
always that guy.
like whatever.
One daub away from, one square away from getting bingo. It's a bingo.
Yeah,
like-
that was years ago, and I've yet to win again. But
so Tyler, you had your big fight.
had my big fight.
Talk to us.
Didn't go as planned.
What happened?
I lost.
Okay.
Guy came out swinging haymakers and caught me early, rocked me early, and from the first punch, I was just kind of in my head. Like we were talking to all those fighters before, and they were saying, stay calm, keep your composure. That's exactly what they were talking about, and I did not do it. Like I got hit and immediately was like, fuck, I don't want that to happen again, which of course is
Now, I
gonna
heard you were
tense you
throwing
up.
haymakers too, though.
Oh yeah, we were throwing at each other. Like I connected with him a couple times. He said I talked to him yesterday on Instagram. He said his head's all bruised up and his legs hurt and his neck was sore and stuff, but he had a giant head. Like I connected clean with a head kick. Like full on head kick.
Right.
Hit him shin right in the temple, and he just like looked at me and ran through me and took me down.
He took you down.
So he took me down, which was interesting. So we were game planning for this guy to be a wrestler and be trying to shoot on me the whole time, which didn't happen. He came out and started swinging. So in my mind, I was like, all right, well, I guess we're in a stand-up fight now. Never even crossed my mind, maybe this guy doesn't want to go to the ground with me, and maybe I should be trying to take it to the ground. So we just ended up slugging it out for the first round. He got a takedown, and I put him in close guard for a while. He was trying to get out. I was trying to set something up. It just, it's fast and slippery and didn't work. And then the second round, I was
Is it harder to say something up when
gassed,
you're wearing
man.
shin guards? Is it harder?
No, I had really thin ones on with the foot wasn't covered, so I could still have that full grip. But he hit me. I mean, he tagged me 5 or 6 times in the first round. I was in and out every time.
So you didn't know where you were.
I knew where I was, but it was one of like when you stand up too fast and everything goes dim and then it comes back.
Did you see those little stars?
Seeing stars, and felt it in my jaw. I still feel it in my head. But in my head, it was I get hit, everything goes black, everything comes back. Oh shit! Okay, all right, let's get our composure. Keep your hands up. Okay, time to throw. Right. I went back and watched it, and it was like, boom, get hit, boom, I throw. Like it was 1 second.
Right.
And so the experience of going back and watching it afterwards compared to what I remember it, that's what let me know, like, dude, you were freaking out.
So you weren't like throw. So you got hit. You were throwing after you got hit every time. Versus he
would hit me.
Versus like you weren't just taking initiative. And it was like you were fighting his.
No,
fight.
I was taking initiative. So like when he would hit me, it was usually on counters, because I was super tense. Like if you watch it, just not loose, not not decisive, just throwing.
10 minutes before the fight, were you warm? Were you loose?
I was warm. Yeah, I mean, I was ready to go. My head was in it. My body felt great. I felt like I had opened my lungs up.
You had the flu a couple days before. You were sick.
I was sick. And I woke up that morning and I felt pretty good. I think first of all, I woke up and I ended up being 6 pounds under.
Wait, so what? It was
6 pounds under. It was 175. I weighed in at 169.
And what did he weigh at 75?
76. Oh, wow. He weighed at 76. So he cut from 85, I think.
Why did you? What happened there?
The night before, I went to sleep at 176.
You lost 6 pounds in a night?
Yeah.
7 pounds?
Yeah.
You just nervous?
Nerves? I fucking guess so. Like I woke up and I was like, what the fuck,
syndrome.
Man? Yeah. Yeah.
On the bike,
and I was drinking water. Like I was drinking water, I went to bed and I was like, all right, I'm only a pound over.
He's sleep squatting. He's sleep squatting. He's doing sleep squats.
But yeah, so I woke up 6 pounds under.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. Never in my life.
Every fat person in the world, like that's
hates
your
me
dream
right now.
Like that's always been my dream, to just wake up 6 pounds lighter.
No, you don't think maybe you were sick and that's why you were dehydrated?
It could have been all sorts of things. I'm not going to make it
because what are you now, like 80, 85?
I'm back up to like 78.
Wow, you're a tall guy too. What are you, 6'1"?
Yep.
Wow, damn. All right, so then
after second round, like I came out and I was gassed, man. He hit me enough to take whatever cardio I did still have away. My legs felt like jelly, and at that point, it was like the Marine mode kicked in. Like, all right, well, if we're doing this, we're either gonna get fucking put away or we're gonna put them away, and got hit one more time right on the nose, like a hook on the nose, so it came across instead of going in. I think broke my nose.
Oh yeah.
Because I heard you. I saw you in the locker room because after on your Instagram live, going, what happened? What did he hit me with? Did you know what he hit you with like right afterwards, or did you know?
No.
So were you out cold?
I don't know. I don't really. Were you? I remember. Okay, the first thing I remember afterwards, like he hit me. I remember taking a shot. I remember feeling the hit and then covering up. So I was there for it, and then it was stopped to me. I don't think he got one more shot in. Oh, okay. So like they pulled him off, and I kind of rolled over, but I was sitting on the like I was chilling on the ground for a second. Doctor came over, checked my jaw, checked my nose, made sure I was okay. And they said, all right, brought the stool over there, and they were like, all right, whenever you're ready. And I was like, okay. And I went to get up, and I went, nope, give me one more second. And it just like I couldn't stand up. Yeah. So I was there, but
this makes me never ever want to fight ever in my life. Because I look at you, I'm like, brown belt, you fucking train all the time, good solid wrestler. I mean, when you were hitting the bag, I remember Jay Moore was like, I never seen anybody hit the bag as hard as you did. And I'm like, so do you think it's a mental aspect or like
for this one? It for sure was. I think just because I didn't spar that much, like hard sparring is kind of, there's, the two schools of thought. Like either you want to hard spar all the time or you just want to stay away and get ready for the fight and save your body. But I think it's needed for those certain situations, like when you do get caught, like how do you react? You can drill that into your head, like, okay, when I get hit, make sure I back up, make sure I take my time, get my breath, keep my hands up, get back into it, stay calm, and then go. And for me, it was like, fuck, I got hit, and everything inside me was like, now you gotta fight back right now. Damn. So it was like I'm getting hit and then going right back into it, and they're, you always want to make them pay. Like if they hit you, I'm gonna hit you too. Like if I get hit, you're gonna at least pay for hitting me, which I did a good job. Like it was a good fight up until he got me.
Are you gonna fight again?
Probably not. My girlfriend didn't even want to look at me. Like I didn't see her for 2 days. Because she came over and she's like, I can't look at you right now. It freaks me out.
Oh, wow.
My face was fucking.
Maybe I should fight.
Shit, man.
Maybe so.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'll get a couple days away from.
Yeah, if you ever need a couple days away from the wife, just go get yourself into a fight and break your nose.
That's crazy.
But it was a good experience. I think I got what I needed out of it. Like it was definitely an itch that I needed to scratch. I wasn't doing it because I wanted to be a fighter or, go pro or anything. If I had won in spectacular fashion, I'd probably done another one. But ultimately, after my first fight, it was like I got knocked out so fast. Like didn't even throw a punch and got caught and just went down. So in my head, that's what everybody has seen me as, like, oh yeah, you're like you do MMA, but like you got knocked out in 6 seconds.
Though. That's the sad part.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
But I wanted other people to know that. So everybody I talked to afterward, like my roommates and my friends, they're like, God damn, that was like you guys were fucking going at each other.
What did Vince say?
Vince, he said a couple things. He said I need to train differently, need to train with better people. Maybe need some new coaching.
This is the guy who doesn't train. If Vince is telling you, this is the guy who's a full-time electrician.
Mayhem telling you you're making bad decisions.
Yeah. Mayhem telling me, give me relationship advice.
But it was
the guy from jail. I'm literally paying.
Jail is like, man, you really make some mistakes.
Yeah. He's like,
but it was good. Like I wanted to know. I knew that I could do it in training, but I wanted to know that I could get hit and keep coming forward. And I proved that, until he hit me right.
All right, next time let's prove that we can win. All right, let's prove we can win next time.
Yeah, exactly. So if I do it again, it's going to be proof to yourself you can win.
Your submissions are. I've seen you roll. Like I thought you would just.
He didn't really engage with me on the ground, and that was the thing. So he got 2 takedowns in the first round, one off the head kick, like I skipped the leg off his head, and he just kind of plowed into me, but got up 3 seconds. Once I started to recover guard, he just pushed off and stood up and was like, hey, get up.
So he doesn't land that first punch. You think the fight goes differently?
I think so. And yeah, I mean, who knows?
Right.
Who knows?
Now,
maybe
Greg,
it goes exactly the same.
Inevitably, the fight goes differently if he doesn't get hit with that first one.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the whole rest of the fight was predicated on that.
If I had another, right?
Now, Greg, you're taking
10 seconds.
There's the old Tyson thing.
Now, Greg, you started doing 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu?
I tried once.
How'd it go?
I didn't go back.
What happened?
Okay, here's what happened. So I went.
Okay, listen to this.
Okay, so I go and I do the one class and everything, and I liked it. But then I get home and I immediately had tweaked my wrist and shoulder doing it from them pulling me in.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, I'm about to go do. I had to go to the Dominican Republic and make that money. I'm about to go shoot a show in Vancouver. I can't show up in a fucking knee brace. And it just seemed to me, and maybe it's this way at all these schools, I don't know, but it seemed to me, at least at this one, that these guys, obviously they know what they're doing, they're passionate about it, but it seemed like there wasn't a strong delineation between beginners, intermediate, and advanced. It seemed like guys were just there to train. And I was like, all I need to do, and the other thing is when you got your knee fucking injured doing it, so what happened was I found myself dreading going back to do it again.
Now, did you go live at all?
No, this was just doing the training.
Wow.
This is just doing the submission, the takedown drill. That's all it was.
No,
it was just yanking on my arm.
And
it was a shoulder that I already kind of had a problem with.
Right.
And I kept wanting to switch up. He goes, no, I only really do it from that side. So, I mean, so it's not that they do anything wrong. They seem to really know what they're doing. It's just I was like, I'm going to get in one bad position with one guy that's super gung-ho, and then I'm going to be the guy walking around in a fucking leg splint for 6 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't afford to be doing that right now with so much coming up.
Yeah,
So that really became that really was the deciding factor, because I was like, I can't get injured. I need to go to something because I'm not doing it because I want to be a fighter. I just like, in terms of working out, I hate the gym. It's
I fucking hate the
boring.
gym. I hate the gym.
So when I do something, like I did some Taekwondo training for a couple of years, because that was fun. But I got really bored with it because it was super repetitive. And like learning forms to me is the stupidest fucking shit in the universe. Like, what are we wasting time on this for? I'm not trying to be a Taekwondo master. I just want to work out. Let's just keep punching and kicking. That's all I enjoy.
Right.
I would have paid to see you though in 10th Planet no gi, rolling around.
Did you have the spats on and the rash guard, or did you just like have a short?
Now,
short, like it was just
So you show up, you're like, I want to learn jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I was like, this seems like really great exercise.
Yeah,
it's very isometric.
Right.
You know, it's very, you just kind of tensed up holding shit for a long time,
and then,
which is different from any other kind of exercise I've done.
And you ended up learning takedowns.
Yeah, like one takedown. Yeah.
Did you take it now? Did you take when you took the person down? Did you feel tough? Like you've actually accomplished something? Or
well, I felt like, oh, okay, yeah, this makes sense. This is what it looks like. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. You know, like, okay, all right, put your feet here, do that. You know, lift your leg.
I'm starting to get this.
Right. It made sense. Okay. When they would do it to me, the way to fight it off, resisting it, that made sense. Doing it to them, jumping around, getting them and rolling down, it made sense. I enjoyed that part. But then later that night, when my wrist and shoulder were both, like my hand was shaking.
When you're pulling out your Santa Cruz medicinals. And
I was like, exactly. I couldn't fucking unscrew a fucking cap. I was like, okay. And this was like the beginner, you know, hey, we're not going to hurt you class.
Right.
I'm like, okay, maybe I'm a little too old for this school. You know, I think for me to do that training, I would have to do private training. I'd have to just hire a guy whose job is to train me.
That's what I don't like about jiu-jitsu classes is that, like, with wrestling, like, we start from the ground up. We learn single legs, takedowns, level 1, 2, basic shit before we have everything. Whereas jiu-jitsu, it's like you could just walk into a class and learn their, like, 10th point, their, like, 10-point sweep, and but, like, I want to learn arm triangles or just basic triangles or basic kimuras before I start to learn like a vaporizer or something. And it seemed like
you kind of just jump in on whatever they're doing that day.
Yeah,
that's what you're doing,
right?
And that was my thing. I was like, where's the beginner class?
Yeah,
where's the one that's got the other old fat guys, you know, who are big fans who just want to do it to, you know, to understand it and enjoy it, and not like the guys that are like, dude, I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna rip your fucking head off, you know, like it was a little more intense than I was looking for.
Yeah.
Let's talk about real fighting for a second. So Alex Jones has offered $1 million to fight Joe Rogan.
Oh, please.
I would love that.
The money goes to charity, he said. But he says, I mean, have somebody made like a really funny promo? I just retweeted it. It was like the funniest shit ever. I actually just embedded the video. I mean, it like links to his video. But it was like the funniest thing, like, so this guy did a...
I don't know. Alex Jones drinks bone broth. So it may be...
So somebody...
Wasn't there... Did he... Okay, I still can't figure out...
$1 million, the charity he wants, to get in the ring with me. Bare knuckle. I'll get in the ring with you, and I will break your jaw. I will knock your teeth out. I will break your nose, and I will break your neck.
You're fucking with the real violence? Yeah. You don't know what violence is? Man, I'm going to do it.
Oh, you're MMA. You got a bald head. You're so I'm so scared,
Alex, if you're out there, you're short and fat and stupid, but you're ugly as fuck, your nose is disgusting. Fuck you.
Big guy. I got big muscles. I've always been strong. And I've got that in-between body size. What's it called?
Everything's a fucking conspiracy. General, talk to my grandma.
Yeah.
He told me about the coffins. 4-foot-tall coffin. They were little alien babies. They took them to the back of the hearse. They had them embalmed, and my aunt saw it, and they killed her in the forest. So, I find your fucking opinions are exhausting, and they're boring.
God told me, destroy Joe Rogan. Yes, sir, Jesus. I will do it. No more
he'll scream and yell and call me a demon. Just holding that motherfucker by his neck. Fuck you. Fuck yeah.
Now I'm gonna torture you for about 6 weeks. So start begging for your mommy and your daddy. War!
There's a crazy picture online.
I don't know.
Surprisingly long sketch there.
I don't know. Yeah.
30 seconds is what the actual industry standard is for that kind of a satirical promo. Whoever edited that needs to learn how to edit it down.
I don't know. I was thoroughly entertained by it.
It is good, but I mean, we kind of
Good.
get
Yeah,
it.
we got it. I got it after the first
I know,
go
after
back
like
and
a
forth.
minute. I was looking at the time bar at the bottom going, there's like another minute to this. Like,
Does Alex Jones really believe that he can take Joe Rogan? I mean, that's insane. That's the craziest conspiracy out of it.
That would probably be the least crazy thing that Alex Jones believes.
I don't
probably,
know.
you're right. You're exactly right about that.
Like,
Yeah, but that's
of all the things he believes,
what
the
if-
fact that he could fight another man is probably like.
But what if Joe calls him on his
whatever.
bullshit? Just says, okay, all right.
Oh
I'll
my
fight.
God! Put it on pay per view.
It'd be worth $1 million. And yeah, put it on pay per view.
Yeah.
It's going to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
I mean, Joe might actually say okay. But
that
like,
guy just decides to invoke Jesus.
Jesus
Like,
Christ!
He told me to do it.
Please.
So I'm gonna do it. Like, oh my. Like Jesus, like seriously. Like Jesus is in heaven going, you know what I would like? I'd like, don't worry about children with cancer, famines, wars. I want Alex Jones to fight Joe Rogan. That's what I'm concerned with today, right
He's
now.
omnipotent.
Me, Jesus.
So it's not like he does not. He's concerned about all of it. This just happens to be.
Yeah.
You know, Alex is one of his special children.
That's right. He's really.
He
I
wants
mean-
him to. Yeah, he wants
has a
him to
direct line.
win.
Imagine Alex.
Oh, who's this? Alex, what's up, buddy? It's Jesus.
Imagine Alex.
How are things going with the peace and screaming?
Imagine he landed like a lucky punch and like won Alex Jones. Like the internet would
Yeah,
just, like everything you thought was true would just be.
Oh, completely. They'd be
I'm-
like, Jesus prevails.
Dude,
This is proof God exists.
I would love to see that fight though. Tell me you wouldn't watch that
Oh my!
fight.
I would watch
totally
it.
watch that. That's a pay-per-view. I would actually pay per view.
I would watch that fight every day.
I might cancel like a gig to like watch that. fight.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. You would actually not show up. Like, I am not missing this fight.
Sorry.
Now, that being said, I really don't think he gets lucky. I
No.
don't think that even is in the realm of possibility.
No, I think Joe Rogan spinning wheel kicks him and the fight's over.
Yeah.
You know, or just.
I mean,
think he just keeps his
I don't
distance.
think so. I think Joe Rogan toys with him.
I think that's right.
And fucking.
I think it's-
like jujitsu's him to make him suffer.
Right.
Puts pressure, makes him feel like he's suffocating, and then just toys them.
Yeah.
think so?
Slaps him a little. Well, it
Yeah,
depends on what kind of fight it is too.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would say, "Oh, boxing."
Yeah. Well, he says bare knuckle.
You know.
He said.
Yeah, bare knuckle. So he's
Bare
probably.
knuckle.
Hey, what?
Okay.
Maybe we'll see him in bare knuckle boxing championship.
Did you watch the UFC over the weekend? UFC
I saw a couple. I got
I saw
home.
some, yeah.
Oh, you
I
saw
got
some
home
of
from
it?
I saw
San
the main
Diego late.
card. I watched all of Bellator. I thought that was a really good card. I liked it.
Oh, we have a guy that's actually going to be on the podcast at 1 o'clock. I think you're leaving.
Yeah.
The next big thing, Bellator's next big thing. That's his nickname. Actually.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he gave himself the nickname. The next Richard Kiely.
Yeah.
So he won his fight. And then, but the UFC, Thiago Santos is a murderer.
Yeah.
That guy that guy.
Jesus.
How about that Barberena fight, though?
Oh, that was the week before.
Oh, was that the week before?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm off.
But still,
I was out of the country. I missed some shit.
Yeah. Barbarina fight was amazing.
That
though.
was an amazing fight.
Yeah. So UFC Prague, John Dodson lost. That guy he lost was pretty good too. That guy, Piotr, whatever his name is. Did you watch that?
Oh, yeah.
But Dodson lost. Gian Vellante got hit with a liver shot that was like, you ever hit with a liver shot?
I have been hit with a liver shot.
What does that feel like?
Describe that. Yeah, I've always wondered because they say it like releases all the poison, like hurts like a motherfucker. Or something like that.
It's paralyzing.
Right.
It's paralyzing. Like you're telling yourself to stand up and take a step, and you can't. It's like if you're standing straight up and you're saying, just keep standing straight, and your body starts just folding over. Like,
Wow.
no, I'm not going to listen to the brain. Like, we have to protect ourselves right now.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So
It's not like it's painful, but it's not pain. It's not like you would think like burning your hand or like even getting
Right.
kicked in the leg or getting punched in the face painful. It's like it's just like debilitating. It's almost like getting kicked in the nuts.
That's
Where
what
it's
I was
like
thinking,
it doesn't
it sounds like
hurt,
Right.
but it's like weird, like
It's a pain that takes over.
yeah, it just takes over your whole body.
Yeah. The way
Weird.
that getting kicked in the nuts pain spreads. Like at first,
It's the worst.
At first you're like, ha, oh, like it just like invades
Feel it
your
under your
body.
chest, like, oh,
like
Jesus.
invades up. You're like, oh.
Yeah, liver shots are I mean, hey, boss definitely had the formula. He had the formula down right.
For a long, long time, but I'll tell you what, you never forget that. That
Never.
pain just grows up
Never.
into your body. It's like, ah.
Yeah, that, and then there was Liz Carmouche won. Happy, your fellow Marine.
Yeah, I missed it. I was bummed, but I heard she did. She was pretty dominant.
She did. Did
Yeah.
you ever meet her?
I never met her. Never met her.
Yeah, she won her.
Shout
fight.
out to Liz Carmouche.
And then Stefan Struve won. Sweet Struve.
Sweet Struve.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's fighting again
Well,
so soon.
He got dropped within 10 seconds of the fight.
Well, that's
Almost.
Really?
Then
That's
came
what I'm
back
s-
and won.
Did he really? That's crazy. Because
Yeah.
after his last fight, I was like, I think maybe he should stop fighting.
A lot of people thought that.
Yeah, because he didn't look so good.
My favorite though was when he was in a hospital one time, like a broken jaw, and he's like, "MMA roasted, make me laugh. I'm in pain." and then I made him laugh. Then he's like, every time I made a joke about it, he's like, "I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna punch you in the balls." And I couldn't tell if he was serious or not, but that was
Is
his way
that the
of.
Dutch sense of
That weird,
Yeah.
that weird Dutch sense of humor.
What
So,
about,
Maybe it's just a giant sense of humor.
So Stefan Struve won his fight. He looked really good. I was
I
actually
was doing that sweet Struve
I was
down in
sup-
the Dominican Republic.
Were you really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Struven.
You weren't worried about being tainted or anything, or?
No, you try a little bit first.
You're fucking crazy. That's why you go to a third world country and try
It
that
was pretty. It
stuff.
was nice. It was good Coke. It was
Oh,
good
my-
Struve.
Good Struve.
It was good Struve. Sweet Struve. I always say he's built like a line of Coke.
But by the way,
That's
by
fucking
the way, rest
hilarious.
in peace to my friend Brody Stevens who passed away on the weekend.
No, can I tell you something? Okay, so I'm at a dinner in the Dominican, and everybody's drinking and celebrating and all this business, and it was a corporate gig, but they were having this big dinner, and I checked my Instagram. I was seeing something posted, and I started seeing all the messages about Brody. And it really sincerely fucked me up. Like, I had to get up, leave the table, like, go somewhere else because I didn't want to stress, people going, "What's wrong, Greg?"
Right,
everyone's
right.
trying to
That's
have
the
their-
last
your
thing
big,
you want, yeah.
Exactly. And I didn't want to be going, so I literally, I got up and I just left the room and I went. I actually had to call Summer. I was like, I just got some fucking weird news and it just really hit me weird. And, because he was such a great guy and it's like this again. And
He was a great guy, and I worked with Brody. I cast him on Kamikaze Comedy,
Yeah.
and we were friends. I mean, I started doing comedy with him 20 years ago in
He was a great guy.
laundromats in New York City.
Yeah.
We did comedy together, and then I saw him 2
Jeez.
weeks ago. People did their half hours, and me and Brody did a warm up together, and like we were friends. He was a good friend of mine. He always did the Dime Bar, but the last time I saw him, he was really sad. He's like asked about the road, and he's like, "They don't get me. People don't get me." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, you have your core base, And then he's like, "Yeah, but they don't. People don't get me." And then he got some bad reviews for his half hour, and he posted it on Facebook like last week about and like the day before he was like watching my videos on Instagram, like liking them, like it was just I don't know what happened, but I know.
And that's the problem
And
with
you never
everybody
do-
having
you-
a voice.
you
The
never
only people-
can.
The only people that want to talk are the haters. Why can't anybody fucking? Where are the people that actually enjoyed it?
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, no, there were a lot. It was like 400 people saying, "No, Brody, you're the best."
You got to
you're the
focus
best."
on that.
Yeah, always.
I know, but comics, we always focus on the one person that's not happy. Like, we'll be in a show crushing the whole crowd, and one person will be frowning, and we will be fixing.
Why don't you fucking like me?
Exactly. Love me. Love me like the hundreds of others loving me right now. Why won't you love me?
And even after the show, someone will be like, "Oh, tough crowd," and you're like, "What, huh?"
Fuck you.
Like,
And that'll be the one comment that'll echo with you all night long.
Yeah.
You'll go out and celebrate with people that love you and like, dude, you're the best, get shot. Blah, blah, blah. But in your mind, you're just thinking about that one cocksucker.
Or you think that, then I go, "Oh, maybe I was too dirty and they won't book me back." Or then I go, "Oh man, like I didn't record that set. Now no one will. Now I'll never have it again. That moment's gone forever." Like it just gets to the point where it's like, it's never enough as a comic. It's hard. It is really hard. And Brody was very different, very unique, and did his own thing. And you either got him or you didn't.
Yeah.
There was no.
Well,
in
that's
between.
for sure.
There was
That
no
is for sure.
There was no in between. But the hard part about I knew Brody pretty well. He was a Republican dude. He had like he was not like he had his own views on things. He was his own person. But the Brody that like a lot of times he was always on with people. Like he felt the need to always perform for people. but that wasn't what it was. He didn't really know how to turn it off, or he didn't think.
Yeah, it's just the way he was.
Yeah, but that wasn't the way he was. He felt like he needed to do that a lot of times. You know, I think a lot of people that said that they know Brody really didn't know Brody. You know, like he just always felt like he needed to make everyone happy, and that he wasn't enough off stage. He had to be the same.
Well, I think every comedian, classically cut comedian suffers from that.
Yeah.
You know, now you have a lot of just kids that grew up on stand-up comedy, and their parents are willing to drive them to open mics, and they're good at comedy. And it's just different. I mean, the generation.
There's not like the persona versus who they are.
Right, exactly. It's more
just,
like, hey, I want to tell jokes.
Comedy's a thing,
Yeah, exactly. Whereas before, you had to be kind of a tortured person who needed attention and validation from outside sources, and those were the people that went into comedy.
Yeah, but that's what makes the best jokes.
It usually does. I mean, tortured individuals usually bring their pain, their edge to their comedy, and but now, you don't see it as much. I mean, now it's really just kids that grew up watching it on YouTube all day, and they're like, hey, I want to tell jokes for a living. Right. And so it's a little bit different now than it was. But I mean, true, the way the classic comedian was cut was a tortured individual. Yeah. And that applies to the female comics as well.
Oh, yeah. Probably more so.
Probably more. Yeah. Probably more so than it does. But just as much between the men and the women, there was, that kind of depression. I mean, look at Robin Williams. He had the greatest career he could possibly have as a comedian. Television success, film success, never ending. Like there was never a dip in the career. And yet at the end, he still felt alone and isolated. And
well, yeah, because I think it's like you're chasing that like, well, maybe if I can make other people feel better and make other people laugh, then it'll, I'll get it for myself, which it's going to for sure work for a certain amount of time.
Sure.
But if you don't get to the core of what that trauma or whatever it is coming from, then it's like, you can put Band-Aids on cuts all day. It's not going to heal it.
The thing is that even though when you address it, that doesn't fix it.
I also think that, Brody was talked on a Periscope about not being able to afford his medication and trying to make enough money.
By the way, I didn't realize people still use Periscope. You keep mentioning
Yeah, this is the second time today.
Well, he was a big Periscope guy.
I'm like, when the fuck?
He was a big.
I deleted that app like a year ago.
He was a big Periscope guy.
Still Snapchat too.
And I guess
Snapchat, yeah. He's
I think a lot of times with medication, people they go on medication and then they feel great,
and so they get off the medication.
I don't need a medication
and then the dip
anymore,
is tremendous.
Right. So maybe that was another thing, but yeah, rest in peace, Brody Stevens. He was one of my favorite people.
No, he was one of the best souls there is in comedy. And I tell you what, it hit me pretty hard. And I hate saying that. I didn't post anything on social media because so many people did, and I felt like it was I didn't want to be just another person like, that's true, I miss you, bro.
Oh, man,
exactly.
we were such good friends.
I know how I felt about him. I feel the same as everybody else does about him. I felt like the conversation didn't need
you don't have to let everybody else know that you're feeling feelings all the time.
So I just felt it, and it really hurt, man. I'm getting a little choked up right now just talking about it because it makes you scared for your entire comedy community.
Right.
Knowing, because we all know that that's what lies beneath. We do, and we don't talk about it. We all kind of like put on.
Well, everybody talks about it, but it's always like, oh, we're so tortured. Ha, 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 ha.
Exactly, and we laugh our way through it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. We laugh our way through it.
I mean,
I think you don't want other people to make drama out of it.
Right.
Like, no, don't make, we're making comedy out of it.
Right.
You know? But then when it actually, boils over and ensnares someone that you didn't think was in the category of being ensnared. Like there are certain people that if they did that, you'd be like, yeah, I saw that coming. There's some guys that have been trying to kill themselves for quite some time.
Yeah, but a lot of times I feel like those people aren't the ones you have to worry about.
It winds up being the person that you think you didn't have to worry about.
Yeah.
It'd be like, oh shit, Artie Lang committed suicide.
You're like,
wow.
He's been trying to come out for a while.
He's been killing himself for 30 years.
Yeah, and that's the way it goes. So
it would still be sad.
No, absolutely.
Obviously. Sorry, Artie.
It is an absolute tragedy. And so that...
But yeah, it wouldn't be a surprise.
Right.
I mean, and I think it just hit like... Fuck, suicide's one of those things. It's not even like... Oh, they just got in a car accident, or oh, they got cancer and died a month later. Like it was like,
I'm done with this. I'm cool.
Yeah. Fuck,
at the same time, sometimes I wonder, do we? Okay, this may sound crazy, but I mean, this is your life. We're all allowed to make choices.
Yeah.
And, sometimes you're just done.
Oh,
I mean, isn't that?
look, I've thought about. I mean, I think everybody's had that thought.
Yeah.
And
Like,
if you haven't, then I think you're lying to yourself. Even if it was just a fleeting thing. Like I think about it all the time.
Nobody that went
I'm like,
through their teen years who didn't think about
oh
suicide
yeah,
at least.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I still do every once in a like never like contemplating it, never serious, but
Right,
it's like
never enough to actually.
you know what?
Right.
Like I could fucking kill myself
Totally,
so
like,
easy. It would be
right,
so
like-
easy. It'd be
right.
so easy, and like
And,
nobody
I'm
knows
kinda
what
cool
happens
being
after.
done right now. Like right now, I'm
Yeah.
sick of this shit.
Yeah.
I'm
I've
sick
done-
of dealing with
I've lived a
that.
good life.
I'm sick of dealing with that. I'm sick of feeling like this.
Yeah, I've done some shit. Whatever. I had a good 30 years.
I had a good round, right?
Yeah, and so
I
not
think
that that's
it's-
good
I think
advice.
half of
Not
it-
that I'm encouraging anybody to do it. I'm just saying.
Hello,
that,
Richard.
Sometimes it seems like I can understand how that.
Like
thought-
that's a legitimate way.
Like yeah,
yeah.
Like you're like, you know what? This
Okay.
is my choice. I choose this.
yes.
Hello.
And that's still. I mean, yeah.
Is this Richard?
Somebody absolutely.
And especially
Okay,
if
guys,
you
hold
have
on
a
a
bunch.
sec. Richard. Hello.
we weren't having an important discussion.
We are having an important discussion. We also have
Suicide prevention.
but we also have a guy.
Do that.
Hello, Richard.
I'm just exploring the thought there.
Of
I'm
course.
not encouraging it. I'm just saying that. I
But
think
that's what you need. You
Hello,
need to be
Richard?
able to explore these kinds of thoughts
Yeah,
instead of.
honestly, and not say like, "What do you do?"
What do you mean? I've never thought about that ever.
Yeah,
what are you
we've
talking about?
all
Like, shut the
thought
fuck
it,
up,
yeah.
man.
And so I think there is that brings empathy to the situation. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. It hurt. It
you're
just
not.
hurt like a motherfucker.
Well, yeah,
You know, and
crazy.
I obviously, you feel miserable.
Hello, Richard.
But god damn it, this is America, and you can do whatever
Is this Richard
the fuck
Kiely?
you want,
At the end of the
Brody.
day, it's your choice.
Hey, okay, here we go. I see you, Richard.
It sucks.
It sucks.
Can you hear me? All right. Fuck. Why can you not hear me?
We can
Hello?
see you.
Hello.
Hey, I can hear you.
Oh, now we can hear you. What's going on, man?
So it's not my phone. Is it?
Okay. No, you're good. You're good. You're on the MMA Roasted Podcast. Richard Kiely, huge win in Bellator. Congratulations.
Thanks a million.
Yeah, that was awesome. So you're the face of Bellator. You changed your nickname to the face of Bellator?
Well, it's not that I changed my nickname to the face of Bellator. I think after that performance on Saturday night, I think I just announced myself as the face of Bellator.
Oh.
So look, it was a clean knock. It's what I do. It's what I did in BAM. It's now what I'm doing in Bellator. I cleaned that guy out in one round. After being out for 15 months, I strutted out in a pair of pink hot pants, knocked them out, got paid, went home.
It was awesome. But I thought it would have been funny though if you actually changed your name to the face of Bellator. I was like, that's a pretty good, smart marketing gig.
I am the face of Bellator. I did change my name to the face of Bellator. Bellator didn't know it. And I knocked the guy out in pink hot pants and went home. So I am the face of Bellator now. They didn't know it yet. The only people that knew walking in there that was going to be the face of Bellator. I had said it to everyone that I was going to be the face of Bellator. The only people that believed it was myself, John Kavanagh, and Dave Roach. But I think everyone believes it now. And if they don't, if they say they don't, then they're lying. Because I walked in, a one shot knockout. The referee should have stepped in. It should have been a walk off. So I went easy on him when I was just finishing him. But look, come here. I am the face of Bellator. And
Yeah.
there's not much more to say about that.
Well, I mean, you just been you have incredible power, and you have a kind of like your stance is a little bit like McGregor, where your hands are down. Has it always been like that?
My hands aren't like McGregor's. If you look at Connor's kind of has a wide open stance from the southpaw position. I fight with my hands down, my chin up. I always have fought with my hands down, my chin up. It's been my style. I suppose you could compare it to Stephen Thompson. You could actually say that Stephen Thompson is the Irish or is the American Richard Kiely, the other way around. But yeah, there's like in terms of like where the comparisons lie with McGregor, the two of us are brash, the two of us are outspoken, the two of us are exceptional strikers. But we're two very, very different people. I have a huge admiration as my teammate. I have a huge respect and admiration for Conor, but I'm my own person.
Okay.
So anyone that makes that comparison, I feel like it's a lazy comparison.
Of course. No. Yeah. Now, did he leave your camp? Is he still in your camp? You guys, what happened?
No, he didn't leave. He didn't leave the camp at all. He's still a member of SBG. He's still coached by John Kavanagh. It's just his lifestyle. His lifestyle dictates that he can go over to the States and Miami whenever he wants.
Right.
That's just what he's doing now. He's on vacation. He's getting some training in there with some top level guys, but he's still a member of SBG as far as I know. We haven't heard anything to the contrary. And he's had huge success with SBG. He has the best coach in the world in John Kavanagh, and he's got some world class teammates there. Like if you had a look at the display of talent that was on the cards for myself, the face of Bellator, you had Kiefer Crosby, he's had King Cowley, he has James Strabanimal Gallagher, who was the main event of the night, Charlie Ward. It's a who's who of top class training partners.
Yeah.
So why would he go anywhere else? On top of that, he has a top class.
Now you guys are obviously animals over there. How's the wrestling over there?
The wrestling, look, the wrestling is very strong. Obviously Ireland isn't I suppose synonymous with wrestling the way the States would be. But like you can see by the level of success we're having, it hasn't had too much of an impact on us so far. We have an excellent wrestling coach. My coach Dave Roach is a tremendous wrestler. We've also got Sergey, who's who's the main wrestling coach in SBG Ireland. So we're in really good hands when it comes to that. And like I said, irrespective of that, you have to close that distance. You have to close that distance to get to the wrestling. You saw what happened when that guy Mikhail Bouchard tried to close the distance on me. He got his chin nearly taken off. So
yeah, no, I mean all your fights have been awesome. The one fight, the guy got you in a leg lock, but you said that your leg was fucked up before that fight, and there was a big snitch in your camp and told him.
I didn't say there was a snitch in my camp. So that's a bit of sneaky. A sneaky play on words.
Sneaky journalism.
Okay, what happened?
What happened was that I ruptured my cruciate ligament 4 weeks out. 4 weeks out from that fight. If you have a look at the knee bar wasn't even on correctly. As soon as he grabbed my ankle, my knee popped out, slipped out a joint. That's a relatively very straightforward escape. So, look, I walked into that fight knowing it was 50-50. If I had caught him on the feet, like I nearly knocked him out with a jab. And bear in mind that was my third professional fight.
No, and that was also a bullshit. You went to touch gloves in that fight, and he kicked you in the knee.
Yeah, he sucker kicked me in the knee. I don't know how he knew about my knee, but his team were calling him go for the left knee. So it was obviously a tactic. And listen, I hold, despite the fact that he's a toilet brush of a human being, I don't hold that against him. I don't hold that against him. I would have done the same to him. But the sucker kick is not something that I do. I'm a man of integrity, and I'm a man of I don't. I'm a man of honor. If I touch gloves, I'm going to touch gloves. You either shake your head no or thing. But no, that's not in the rule set. So I don't hold it against him. But I got him at a weigh-in. Then after I gave him a slap for pleasure. But he knows if I ever came across him again, he met me in full.
Yeah, no. If he didn't get that knee bar, that fight was you were going to win that fight. I have no question in that fight. Now, as far as Lorenz Larkin, now I heard he killed you in sparring. Now this
Lawrence.
is what?
Call him by his proper name, Lawrence.
Oh, Lawrence Larkin. All right. Now I heard he tore you up in sparring. This is the word on the street. You say differently. What happened here?
Where are you getting these sources from, man?
I'm just making them up. I'm just completely making them up. But what happened with you and Larkin in sparring?
Look. Look, it's what happened between us in sparring. Look, come here. I had the better of the exchanges. That's the thing. Lawrence came over. I was hungover, and we had some sparring. I was the better striker. But look, come here. Listen, sparring, training. Get it in the cage under Bellator lights. That's when you see the real deal. He was also about 100 kilos at the time. I'm not saying that he was on his supplements, but he was 100 kilos solid, and I was hungover the night before.
Yeah, but aren't you Irish? Aren't you guys hungover? I mean, you guys are known for your drinking. I mean, when are you not hungover, right? Aren't you kind of known for the drinking over there? No.
No, we're known for knocking out Lorenz Larkin.
Now, MVP Paul Daly. What was your take on that fight?
Paulie and Daly and Aircorn Page. Look, come here. We did a whatchamacallit over here, a podcast with a company called Severe MMA, with a company called Severe MMA.
Yeah, good guys.
Before the fight, they asked me for my prediction. I told them exactly how it would happen. I said it would be a boring fight, it'd be anticlimactic, and it'd be deeply uninteresting. And then people who are making it up or who thought this was going to be some kind of barn burner were sorely mistaken. And that's exactly what happened. It played out exactly how I predicted. These guys are one-dimensional. Earthworm Page can only fight from distance. He's been handed puddings. Paul Daly can only fight in the pocket. Both of them have their strengths and they're good at what they do, but they're too one-dimensional. So the likes of me, I can fight from both ranges. I can fight in the pocket and I can fight from distance. So you can see, I fight my hands down, my chin up. I can do that in range and I can do that out of range. So it doesn't matter which one of those two I fight. The whatchamacallit would be the same. People build these two guys up into something that they're not. Yes, Paul Ian has power, and yes, Earthworm Page can move from distance, but that's all they can do, and they showed that in that fight. They showed that both of them had a limited skill set.
Now, what do you think about who's going to win the tournament? You think it's going to be Rory McDonald? You think it's going to be Gracie?
Rory McDonald should win it. I think Rory McDonald should win it. But there's two things. Like Earthworm Page actually has a decent chance of winning this, despite his limited skill set. Because if you're not familiar with how that range works, it's very difficult to deal with. And it's one thing being familiar with it; it's a second thing having an answer for it. Whereas I'd have an answer for it,
right?
And I'd beat him. Very, very straightforward. But I think Rory McDonald is the best equipped. I think he's an intelligent fighter. It just depends. I think he's had to getting a couple of miles on the clock now in his last since that Robbie Lawler fight. How he turned up against Gegard Mousasi, I think that was just a mental issue. But logically, he has everything. He has the fighter IQ, he has the skill set. And he has the ability to learn Page's style to beat him. It's just a matter of whether he has the mentality now to do it.
Now, what's your? I heard that you're an amazing kickboxer. You have a huge. I don't really follow kickboxing, but what are some of your credentials in kickboxing?
I am an amazing kickboxer.
That's what I heard. Like, did you?
Yeah, heard. You don't see me knock out that guy.
I know, but I've only watched you in mixed martial arts. I don't follow kickboxing. I'm not a big Glory fan, or what was your credentials in kickboxing?
It was I've been multiple times Irish kickboxing champion. I was European bronze medalist that retired through injury. I was world champion. So, I was at one stage. At one stage, I think myself and Stephen Thompson were supposed to fight. And myself and Raymond Daniels, we were definitely supposed to fight, but both of those never came to fruition. But look, like I said, kickboxing didn't light a fire under me anymore, and I was very lucky insofar as that Straight Blast gym with John Kavanagh was directly down the road. MMA was just starting to take off, and I thought, that's fighting that doesn't have as limited a skill set as kickboxing. I wanted to test myself. Against. I wanted to test myself in a more holistic skill set, and like you can see in a very, very short, within a very, very short period of time. My first fight, I got the biggest pop of the night in the Tree Arena, which is one of Ireland's biggest venues. I got the biggest pop of the night. I had a highlight reel stoppage. But in my second fight, I became the face of Bama. Within my third fight, I fought for a world title.
That was insane, yeah.
In event of the Bama show. And my fourth fight now, I'm after arriving as the face of Bellator. That's not a bad.
Fuck no, it's not.
And if you think with the first four fights have been impressive, wait and see the next four.
Now, what's your grappling background like?
My grappling background is relatively new to the game. Like I said, I'm only doing MMA about 3 years. But I've been taken to it like a duck to water, as you can see. Like I said, within 4 fights, notwithstanding the loss against Alex Lahore, but that wasn't him winning that fight based on his superior grappling. That was an injury defeat to me. It wasn't Alex Lahore, and it wasn't down to any perceived gaps in my grappling. That was just an injury. My knee popped out as soon as he grabbed my ankle. Never mind, hooked the knee bar on. But yeah, look. And by no means am I a black belt in the game, but I've huge. Huge areas to develop in. I'm aware of that. However, the fight starts on the feet. And it's very, very difficult catching me. And if you do catch me, the likelihood is because I want you to catch me so I can catch you with that right hand that Mikhail Boucher just got his chin taken off. Right? And if it does go to ground, by no means no slouch. I was over in Iceland there in the lead up to this camp. And the only people that were on the mat were either UFC guys, Bellator guys, or Cage Warriors world champions. Gunnar Nelson was there, and by no means was I any slouch on the ground. I can handle my own against these guys, and like I said, I can stand back up, kick you in the mouth, and then just before you go asleep, I'll slap on a rear naked choke, and then I'll get a tap by submission then. So then I'll be telling everyone about how great my ground.
No, you're getting me excited, man. You get me pumped. Not like a boner. I'm saying you get me excited to watch you fight. Now you're.
Could imagine.
Oh yeah, 100%. Now, your next fight, you want to be against who?
I'm open. This is like, come here. The fight that makes it. Like, I'm not here to just pick up like fights that don't mean anything. That fight was after 15 months back was a good fight for me. I'm looking to fight big names here, but look, come here. I know that I will. I know that I'll have to make waves in Bellator, and my first fight. I've done that. And it's not, as I said, it's not just by the fact that I walked out like I owned the place wearing pink hot pants and then knocked some fella out and taking his chin off. The next fight, the ones that I want is Lawrence Larkin, is Pauline Daly, is Earthworm Page. There's another fella there called Terence Brazier who I was looking for when he had a belt in Bama. He avoided me. He was the hide and seek champion for about 3 years while I was looking for him, and now he's calling me in. But he's coming off a loss, so it needs to be interesting. He has nothing to offer me now. So I'm looking for the big boys now, and the big boys, these so-called big boys, they don't offer anything that I haven't seen before. I've fought world-class strikers that are better than these guys. These guys know that. So they, by no means, they're going to hide behind a record and say that I'm only 3-1 and what have you. But what I do bring is bums on seats. I bring interest. I'm fun outside the cage. I bring knockouts out. I'm fun outside the cage and I bring knockouts inside the cage. They don't want any of that.
Now, Conor McGregor, can you record this? Now, McGregor, you guys are teammates. I take it you're pretty good friends. Seems like a really cool guy, a good teammate. When he was going to hop on that private plane to fly to New York to throw a dolly at the truck, right? My whole thing was, how come he didn't have a friend to tell him, hey man, this might not be a good idea. You might want to sit this one out. Like, did you know that he was planning on doing that?
Nope, I didn't. I didn't know he was going to do that. How come he didn't have a friend to say, well, look, come here. I can't. These are questions that you need to ask Conor. I'm not in the position. But
he won't come on my podcast, so I'm asking you. But he won't come on this, so I'm asking you. And you seem like a nicer guy, to be honest. No, I'm kidding. I'm just saying. Does he have anybody at the gym to tell him, like, hey man, you're partying too much, or you're doing this too much? Are there any big brothers there to kind of like mentor him and look out for him?
So look, these aren't questions that I particularly want to get into, because first of all, I'm not familiar with Conor day to day in his circle. Conor is doing exceptionally well by any standard. What I will say is you give anyone that's after coming from social welfare, as we call it over here, or was it? I don't know what you call it over here. Welfare.
Welfare. Yeah.
You give anyone over 140 million. Give them an unprecedented level of fame, okay? And then try and denigrate them over the fact that he's gone over to protect his friend, okay? I think that's, look, whether you agree with it, whether you disagree with it, I don't think you can't doubt that his intentions were good.
Yeah, you're right.
I think the criticism that's been leveled at him is really unfair, and it doesn't have any context or perspective. Notwithstanding that what he did, he's held his hand up. He's had to pay the price for it. He went to court. He got his punishment, and he took it like a champ.
Of course.
So that, as far as I'm concerned, that chapter is done. focus on the positive things, I would say now, and give the guy a break, and and give him the credit he deserves. And people have a huge fondness for building people up so they can knock them down.
Of course. No, I'm just asking if there's anybody to kind of look out for him. That's what I'm trying to say.
There's lots of people looking out for him. But like I said, I'm sure there's lots of people looking out for him. But like I said, you give someone that unprecedented level of wealth and fame, it's a different life. So I'm not in a position to be able to.
Of course. Do you have anybody looking out for you when you become that famous and that successful?
I'm my own man. I know where my feet are firmly planted on the ground, and if I ever step out of line, my mom is tougher than any cage fighter.
That's good. There you go. And then now that you're the face of Bellator, are women flocking to you?
What do you mean now that I'm the face of Bellator? They were flocking to me before.
Oh, really? I mean, because there's some hot Irish. I like Irish women are hot until some of their accents are kind of rough, but they sound like they can beat the fuck out of me, which I'm sure they probably can. But
you tell them that their accents are rough, they definitely beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. Good point. Are you getting a lot of girls? Are women kind of in your life? You have a girlfriend, or are you getting tons of puss? What's going on? Talk to us.
No, I don't have a girlfriend. I have a little boy, and he keeps me occupied. He's my focus now. So
nice.
He keeps me busy. So he's my focus. So I don't have any particular.
How old's your boy?
He's 6. He was 6 a few weeks ago.
Now, when like you meet a girl, do they fall in love with him too? And you're like, oh, I want to be or are they kind of running for the hills?
With my son?
Yeah, like when you go like being a single dad, sometimes it could attract women or it could detract women, depending on the woman.
Look, that's not something that's even in consideration. If a girl ever had a problem with that, that's tough shit. She'd be getting the P45. She'd be getting this. She'd be gone before she even had a chance.
I like this guy.
To answer your question, he's a very, very special boy. He's a very, very lovable boy, very, very soft, and
nice.
He's a great kid. So.
Are you putting him in martial arts?
No, I'd like to teach him how to defend himself, but I wouldn't like him to fight competitively, or to, I wouldn't mind him doing jiu-jitsu, but I'd like that to be his own choice. He can do whatever he wants. If he wants to play football, if he wants to be a ballroom dancer, he can do what he wants. I'd love to be able to ballroom dance. And you can see by the footwork that I have going around the cage, I think I'd be quite to answer your question, he can do whatever he likes to do, and he'll have my full support.
How do you get so confident, man? How do I get your confidence?
Well, is it confidence? Like I'm just
start knocking people out.
I'm not telling lies. I'm telling exactly what it is. Like I'm saying I've got good footwork, and I think it'd be transferable to the ballroom dance. I think that's fairly accurate. Do you disagree?
No, 100%. No, I got pretty good footwork too. I was on the black dance team in college. I swear to God, I was on the black dance repertoire, and. Yeah.
If I need dance lessons, I'll be sure to give you a shout, man.
Yeah, but it's all like 90s moves. So if it's very specific. If it's like, yeah.
90s moves are where it's at, man. They're the cool moves, man.
I agree. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 25.
You're 25?
I'm a young 35.
Yeah, you're young, man. You got the whole world ahead of you.
I think he said 35. 35?
Oh, 35, 25?
35. I'm the arse 45. Fuck that.
35. 35.
35.
Oh, good.
35.
Yeah, dude, like, come here. Did you see any 35-year-olds move like me, as fast as me, hit as hard as me, fight with their hands down like me? You can tell that I haven't taken much damage. The reason being is because I'm fast.
But isn't speed the first to go? And then, sometimes keeping your chin up with your hands down might work against you.
Yeah, if my speed went, but it hasn't. I'm lightning fast. I'm about 3 or 4 speeds. Like, come here, these guys move. It's like looking at these guys in slow motion. Like, you could see. Have a look back at the knockout on Saturday, okay? I'll just use that as an accurate representation of how fast I am. Look how, as soon as he threw his jab, I was moving. I covered distance. My head was off his line, and despite him initiating the movement, I hit him much quicker before his shot even landed. That is speed, it's timing. I covered distance. Look how much distance I fight from and how quickly I cover it.
No, you're great. You're great. You're very unconventional, though. I do get nervous that your chin's a little high, just from what I was taught. But look, you're winning, and obviously you're a world champion kickboxer. What the fuck do I know?
It is unconventional, but it's also what people don't understand. People see my hands down the chin up, and they think it's based on they think it's cockiness, and it is cocky to a degree, but there's a purpose behind that. Okay, so what Mikhail Boucher was doing, he was looking to counter strike. Okay, so why I had my hands down with chin up was to elicit. Well, that's how I fight anyway, but it elicits a reaction. It makes the opponent try to commit and step into that dead space. And when you're fighting someone as quick, as fast, and as precise as me, what happens is you get knocked out.
Yeah, no, I see it, man. I can't wait if you come to the U.S. I feel like you know, the U.S. is they would eat you alive out here, man. I feel like people would like you. So
They might like me, they might not like me. That's their own prerogative. It's not something that I lay much value on. But what I can guarantee is that they would be interested in the book bums on seats. But it's people who come to see me getting knocked out because they perceive I'm Marion, or whether it's people that enjoy my style of fighting.
yeah,
it doesn't matter. But they will. Like, I'm not. This isn't contrived. This isn't an act. All I'm doing is telling you exactly what I see, exactly what I feel. And if people don't like that, well, then that's their tough shit. To be honest, man.
Now, how do you think you would do against a guy like Hodger Gracie or Ed Ruth or some of these grapplers?
Yeah, they would pose a different challenge to what I have, but how would they do against someone who was the explosive level of striking as I do? It would be a clash of styles. By all means, they would have the advantage in the grappling stakes. However, the fight starts on the feet, so they would be at a disadvantage from the start. And that's not to say that as soon as it gets into grappling exchanges that it's a foregone conclusion. Definitely not. I would gladly take a challenge against either of these guys, against any of those guys, and I would be walking in confident.
Nice. Any questions, Tyler, for this amazing fighter?
My brain's still a little scrambled. So
so Tyler had
taking it all in.
He had his third amateur fight. He unfortunately got knocked out, but it was a great fight. But he's also a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and he said he wants to come to your gym and then beat you up in Ireland. So he says
totally.
He said he can't wait.
You want to wait till that brain gets unscrambled before you come over. You're going to beat you up. I'm only messing. Tyler, come here, well done. And if shit happens, if you get knocked out, that's the way. That's the nature of the sport. That can happen to anyone, but anyone that gets into that cage with a huge amount of respect for. So well done, man, getting in.
Yeah,
thank you,
1,000%.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah,
and beautiful performance, man. I mean,
if you're ever in LA or Vegas, when is the next time you come to the US?
Well, I'm in the process of applying for my US working visa as we speak now. So I don't know. We'll have to wait, but I definitely aspire to get over there at some stage this year to fight. Let
me know if you want me to sponsor you. I could definitely sponsor you. So yeah,
that'd be much appreciated.
100. Now, where can people find you? On Instagram and Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's Richard Kiely MMA is my handle. So catch me on that. And it's an interest in social media. I've an interest in social media, and I'm no drinking violet, so you will see who I'm calling out on that anyway. Well,
thank you for taking time out of your day to be on the podcast. We're huge fans. Please come back after you become the world champion. So it'd be an honor to have you back.
Great, thank you, my man. I appreciate the call, and thanks for the interview.
Anytime, Richard.
See you now. Bye.
Later.
All right, I like that guy.
He's gonna be a star.
You think so, right?
Gonna be a star.
Guy's hilarious.
Seems like that gym is just producing some fucking killers too.
Yeah.
And they all got personalities.
Yeah, that guy loved answering Connor questions. So.
Oh yeah. Totally.
I was getting scared for a second.
I mean, I get it. I get it. Like, he's coming on a show to get interviewed. He doesn't want to be talking about other fighters, but at the same time, you're with Connor. Like, Connor's not just another guy.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I'm
sure he knows.
You don't think I was too disrespectful?
No,
with my question,
not
right?
at all. No. Not at all. I think he knows that those questions are going to come every time.
I was asking him. I was just honestly curious if Connor has somebody to like big brother him if he was the guy. That was really the question. It wasn't like I wasn't even really putting him down. I'm sure there are probably other ways to. Probably could have said nicer things, but look. I'm a
whatever.
huge Conor fan in the octagon. In the octagon,
Right.
I'll watch him. I'll support him, and I'm sure he does a lot of really nice things for people.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I mean, I met him. He came to the gym a couple years ago, right after I think this first Nate Diaz fight, and hit the bag. Super respectful, very nice guy. Like just please and thank you.
And the same goes for John Jones with me. Like John Jones in the octagon, I'm the biggest fan ever. But I'm a bigger fan of the way GSP conducts himself out of the octagon, or Rashad Evans, or some of these other guys out there, like that really like you're like, wow, John Dotson, or let's say, or
yeah, I'd say. I mean, I'd say
Suarez,
like 99%
on.
of the roster in both Bellator and the UFC are probably very cool guys.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be, I mean,
I'm
like
sure Jones,
if you're the baddest man on the planet, like John Jones arguably is,
Social
like,
welfare,
what the fuck,
2 years.
Like, what do you expect? This guy can literally kick anybody's ass he comes in contact with. You think he's going to be humble? Like, no.
No, but it'd be nice. No, but yeah, right. You can't. Everyone can't be Steven Miocic and be a part-time firefighter, or a full-time firefighter, or Daniel Cormier, who coaches high school wrestling in his free time. Like, I get that, you know, but whatever. Anyway, so I like that guy though, Richard Kiely. I think
I'm looking forward to see. I would love to see him and Lorenz.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm obviously not a trained fighter, and when I look at him standing straight up with his hands down, I'm like, this doesn't seem like a good idea.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I definitely understand that. That's how I always spar. Just because it gives you, but I'm he's a kickboxer, so it gives you that range for like front kicks, and if you can time them. Like he was saying, timing is his big thing. Round kicks, head kicks, leg kick, whatever.
Yeah.
And it makes the person that you're fighting seem like they can tag you, when in reality they can't. So I get it. And if it's working for him, it's working for him. Keep
That's
doing
funny.
it, Like, why not?
I heard there was a snitch in your camp. Like I was trying to fuck with him. I heard Lorenz Larry could fuck you up, like just to fuck with him.
It's like, where do you hear that?
Yeah, because
what are you talking about?
Well, you can also tell that guy's a real nice guy. You could tell. He seems like a sweet guy.
Yeah, single dad too. Shout out, single dad.
Single dad.
That's awesome.
And I didn't mean like I meant like basically what I was trying to say is like. If my wife ever left me, would it be harder or easier to get other girls with a baby?
Like, so when she leaves.
So that was, but the way that I guess I could have phrased it better. Maybe I should have been more direct. Now, what do you have coming up, Tyler?
Not much. Focused on healing up. Hopefully I can get my swelling down on my face before I go to Vegas on Thursday for UFC 235.
Yeah, I was like, you supposed to coach yesterday. I'm like, I'm not sure it'd be that inspiring to the kids.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, just keep your head up, okay?
I don't want to look like you when I wrestle.
Well, it sucks, man. Like I totally forgot the don't keep your head elevated rule. So I went to sleep. Like I work graveyard shift doing security, and I went to sleep and just laid down flat and woke up, and I was all just right back to looking like a fucking Na'vi from what was that movie? Avatar. A damn Avatar monster. So yeah, I called him. Was like, hey, I gotta ice my face.
Aldo came and held it. I mean, it sucks. Like I'm not gonna be able to like coach this semester just because like the wrestling team that we coach, they just added a semester that we haven't ever done.
Right.
And they're like, hey, I'll see you practice, and I'm like,
I actually might not be able to coach either. My schedule's changing. I'm starting to work days, so
I'm like being a stay-at-home dad during the day. It's just like 5 hours in a car. Yeah, it's one thing when it's during the season, and we have an extra season as it is. Like season's really almost supposed to be from December to February, but I was like we were getting killed, so I changed it to September to December. So now we're adding another season. So that's why we don't have a match that first time.
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm like, this is now like an extra season, which I don't know. They don't want to burn the kids out, but whatever. So now Aldo's doing it. And then Jay Moore called me up and he's like, hey, can I help coach? And I was like, sure. I'm like, Tyler and Aldo are doing it this semester. I'm not doing it this semester. Yeah, then he texts me next, can I run practice Wednesday? And I was like, I just told you that I'm not running it. I go, but I'll check with Tyler and Aldo. I don't think they'll have a problem with you running practice.
Come on, Jay.
You know, so
Come on over.
I think he wants to run practice tomorrow.
I'll text him.
Yeah. But Jay is very like into like the mental coaching.
Yeah.
Like he might have.
Shit, I could have used some of that.
He might having all the kids thinking that they're like piranhas or something, or like. I'm like, great. I'm gonna have Tyler telling him to pull guard. The other guy telling him they're all piranhas. Look at all those.
I wouldn't tell him to pull guard. I'd be telling him to choke it.
All those threatening parents. This is some fucking establishment that I ran.
It's Fight Club. It's not wrestling anymore. It's just Fight Club. That's what we should call it. Paul Revere Fight Club.
What do you think? Paul Revere Fight Club? Are you gonna be a member? Well, cool. Well, this Friday night I will be at the Dirty at 12:30. If you want to come at South Point.
Yeah,
Casino.
I was asking my boys. I think we're gonna try to make it out there.
Nice. South Point Casino this Friday night 12:30, and then I got tickets to the fight.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'll be at the fight on Friday, and then
good seats, huh?
yeah, pretty good seats.
Not
And then I
sitting
got
up in the
Reno
nosebleeds
coming
with
up.
me.
And just go to adamhunter.com. And if you want to buy, if you use Amazon, go to adamhunter.com first. Click on the Amazon banner, and then go to adamhunter.com, and then buy whatever you want. Thank you, Richard Kiely. You were awesome. Thanks, Greg Wilson. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thanks to my baby Violet for sitting in with us. Anything you want to say, Violet, at the end?
Hey, bye.
Anything you want to say? Okay, she's good. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Trap songs trap dansen Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан Даадаш дуулан дур булаа мууруулаа